Greetings, my people. This is the weekly update on the Khorum Coast, how the PED Flow Center and the share tracking is, and I thought I would go over a little bit maybe about how the economy works on Entropia as a whole, and we'll explore the shop that Kane Dewey Fall has set up over here, the Khorum Coast Resort. So we'll check out what he's got here on his shop counters also tonight. But first, I thought let's discuss the economy in case some people don't understand what a real cash economy game is. Entropia is a real cash economy game, which means that everything inside this game has a real world value that you can cash out into your bank account. Everything from my character's skills, which you see here on this page. I'm not extremely skilled, I will admit. At one point I was really good, but then things changed. I didn't play for a couple years. But yes, and then even your stuff you loot in my inventory here, all the way down to your guns and my clothes, you see, are all worth real money. And the money in the game is called the PED, the Project Entropia dollar. Down here you can see I have the money on my PED card, 108 PED. So every 10 PED is worth 1 US dollar. So down here on my card, I have almost $11 US just to mess with that I currently have on there, and everything else will have different value. Like my master coat, for instance. Oh, didn't mean to take it off. Crap. Will have a value of, let's say, 129 PED, but there's also markup to other players. So yeah, it's worth $13 to a trade terminal, but I may get over 400 to other people. And honestly, I believe this is one of only two Tantillion Master Coats in the game, or at least it was. So yeah, it's worth more than 400 peds. But anyway, everything has a real value. The guns, let's see, Zentech light rifle was worth $13 to the trade terminal, 130 ped. So everything like that, like I said, has real value inside the game. So when we go over the Ped Flow Center and the shares, and then maybe what things cost here in the shop afterwards, it'll maybe give some of you who aren't as affluent in the game and the economy a little bit to understand what's going on. So all you got to remember basically, every 10 ped is worth 1 US dollar. Okay, the economy entropy has been fixed like that for about 20 years almost now, roughly like 18. I don't know. They're going on to their 20-year anniversary here in a couple years, but so it's fixed at 10 ped for 1 US dollar. Okay, so with that, let's go into our ped flow center and we'll go in where our shares were left out from the last week and what the coast has made money wise with all the activity on it. All right. Today is the 17th. It is Sunday. I'm going to start doing weekly updates every week on it so that you all can keep track of what it's making as a land and then what your shares are worth so that at the end of May or whatever month you have your shares in, you know how to keep track of what you could potentially make. Because the Khorum Coast pays you back based on the shares that you earn as half a split of the land profits. So I earn half, and then my players will earn half of what the month or the monthly income of the land is. But all right. So on the 10th of April, we made 185 ped. So $18.50 was what was generated by the land with when it was either hunting or mining. It doesn't really say. All I get is an income every day if we make at least $5. So if we make less than 50 peds, it rolls over to the next day, which you'll see off and on. There'll be some days where we skip a payment, but I'm trying to come on here every day and do what I can to keep interest going for y'all so that your shares maintain a constant value also, so that it doesn't dip into the low part of us not getting money together, because that's the point of this land, is that we all share in the low points and the high points of the profit and how the land works. Kind of like how a Calypso land deed or an Arcadian underground deed works. That's what I want Khorum Coast to be like. I want it to be a land that pays back the people that participate in it with the real profits from the land. So hopefully it works. Anyway, on the 11th, we made 168 ped, so $16, almost 17. On the 12th, we made 178. On the 13th, it was 235. It was a pretty good payment right there. So that's like $24 almost. income on the land. On the 14th, we dipped a little low. We barely covered a income payment that day. We almost got less than nothing. We got 64. If it was less than 50 that day, it would have rolled over, but luckily at least got to 64, so we made a payment. On the 15th, we got 243, so almost 25 US right there. On the 16th, 148, sorry. On the 17th, we had 327. So on the 17th was the best payment we've ever had for the land. It was worth almost 33 US. There was a lot of activity. And then we also formed a team hunt that night. It was last night. We went and we murdered some creatures together at the Khorum Coast, some camaldons. It was Blobby Bobby, but what's his last name? Let's see. I've only got him as Blobby. I guess it is just Blobby Bobby. Never mind, I thought he had a last name. My bad. But we went out there with Richard Herox. I believe he's on here too. We went out with him, Richard Herox Carlson, and we did a team hunt together. And since you team hunt on my land when I go with you, if there's globals or whatever, that counts to your shares of what you earn. I don't take any record of myself earning y'all shares. That's on you. So if I go and team hunt with one of y'all and we hit like a 500 ped mob, man, congratulations. You just earned a share in one go out on a team hunt together. So that's kind of how that works. Because I don't believe it's fair for me to take a split of the shares. So they go based on who's in the team. And Bob said he didn't want his split of the shares last night. Sorry. So I ended up giving them all to Richard, and that's how we ended up with almost a full share so far in just one night of activity. So good on to him. But I think every Saturday, sorry, the reason why I'm bringing it up is every Saturday I believe we need to start doing a team hunt, get everyone involved, do something like that, some sort of thing to keep Arcadia going, keep building up the land as a whole, maybe keep people interactive. And I'm thinking Saturday would be a good night for me because of how work ends up. But I'm open to feedback. If anybody wants anything else, any other day, I could kind of work around some things, but I'm not able to stay up very late because my job is really early in the morning. So other than that, another quick drink there. And we'll go on to the shares because tonight I also calculated everyone's shares for the land. So let's go on to what we've earned as players. All right, here's our data of the spreadsheet. You can see that we have our PED we've made over here, and then the value of it on this side. And then down here we have our totals. We have our fertilizer costs. I did adjust the fertilizer a little bit on the Hydrata this week. That's why it's down a little bit more than normal. Normal, it'll probably be about, I think it's 600 a month. So maybe about 150 PED a week. Anyway, but that's why it dipped a little bit more as I increased the Hydrata maturity for us. So hopefully that's going to help get y'all a little stronger Hydratas, get some nice hops on those would be great. Because I've already seen that they're paying out a little better on the tracker. The Hydratas are starting to hit. So I'm glad y'all enjoying that they got a little boost. And hopefully that'll help pay off for all of us. So far, owning Khorum Coast since March 23rd. You can see the payouts over here and the overall money that has been generated off Khorum Coast so far since I've took over ownership is 3,699 PED or 369 US dollars. So we still have one more week of tracking to do. We'll see what we get, see if we can push it up pretty high, and then we'll see how our first month of owning a land goes. Kind of excited. Let's move on to, oh, I forgot. We did do also a little bit more Easter event expenses. We paid out a few more players, so now we're up to 155 peds for Easter expenses, and then the grand opening is 500. These are the costs for March and April. When May starts, all this will be different, but since we took over ownership at the end of March, I had to kind of make an March and April thing together, so that's why it's like that. Moving on to the shares. Valui Lili Strafkin has earned 2,492 hunting globals and has 4.984 shares. Victor Brick Vaughn has 142 hunting globals and 0.284 shares. Cypes Friedelig Hill has 499 hunting globals and 0.998 shares. Girl Lena Pro has 150 peds of hunting globals and zero point 0.3 shares. Kylan Rahl has 517 peds of hunting globals and 1.034 shares. Lawrence Lenchi has 530 peds of hunting globals and 1.06 shares. Taurine Tor Alaranth has 697 peds of hunting globals, 50 peds of mining for a total of 1.49 for him. Mark Pearsley Atticus has 89 peds of hunting globals for 0.17 shares. Ostrander Pop has 3,093 peds of hunting globals for 6.16 shares. Jar Jesus Sismondi has 112 peds hunting globals and 66 peds mining globals for 0.356 shares. Sunny Bear Lynn Valentine has 76 peds hunting globals, and that's a total of 1.52 shares for her. Scott Dr. H. Joel has 4,330 peds hunting for 8.66 shares. Granny Rowan Render has 815 peds hunting globals for a total of 1.63 shares. Fans Triple X Fruiterman has 226 peds mining globals for 0.52 shares. John Unkugai Williams has 219 peds mining for 0.438 shares. Konstantin Constant Karlamov has 61 peds hunting and 192 mining for 0.506. Callista Superfreak Connor has 114 peds mining for 0.228. Faith Irene has 295 peds found mining globals for 0.59 shares. Son Goku Mashima has 212 hunting found for 0.424. Ibu Bubu Abhi has 92 peds hunting found for 0.184. Joe Fields has 150 peds found hunting for zero point 0.3 ped shares. El Tahirpenti Mexico has 595 found hunting for 1.19 shares. Richard Hirox Carlson has 580 so far because he got that boost from that team hunt we did. He earned almost a full share just on that hunt, and then he finished it off himself. So he's at a total of 580 right now, putting him right over the bump of 1.16, so he's just over. Oz Best Bays K has 559 peds hunting globals for 1.18 shares or 11 shares. Peaky the Last Leo has 52 peds mining for 0.104 shares. McMuffin's Uffin ZZT has 51 peds mining for 0.102 shares. Zaratool has 195 peds mining for 0.39 shares. Total altogether, if you add it all in with the partials and everything, y'all have generated 15,791 peds hunting activity and 1,460 peds of mining activity for total shares earned by participants, including the partials, to 34.5 shares earned on the land. Now keep in mind these partial shares actually have to be earned by the end of the month or they will go away. So if you only have 0.102, Mr. McMuffins, you got to come and finish it off, bud. You got to get at least, 500 peds globals to get yourself over that limit. I am thinking about people that are so close, like Friedelig right here. He's at, basically 0.002 to get his full share. I'm thinking about making a rounding up point, like if you're just 10 peds away, that you'll still get it anyway. That way you're not forced to come out there and drag yourself through a potential hell hunt or something just to get that last global to finish you off. I don't think that's fair. So I am currently debating to just make a rounding up point. That way things like that get covered for him and other players in the future. And down here at the bottom is what I've earned so far global wise of mining and hunting myself. I don't really have a lot of luck hunting, but I have 104 peds found and 1,082 peds mining. I don't get any shares or anything. That's just a record of what I'm also trying to help generate on the land so that y'all know that I'm doing my fair share of putting peds into the profit pool for you all to earn at the end of the month as well. These payouts, by the way, for the shares will be at the end of May. All the tracking for your PEDs will begin at May for these shares because you're earning them right now in April. April shares earned pay out for May. May shares earned will pay out in June. So that's how that works. They're always a month ahead. And it looks like I got kicked off Entropia anyway, so I guess we'll leave it at that. And thank you all for watching this month's video. And tune in for all the other upcoming stuff here at the Khorum Coast. I'm thinking about doing a different event for May so that we have some more interest. I'm also thinking about keeping the Easter event somewhat going with the mining and all that because I think it's unique to have our mining event. I think it's helping stand us apart for future. So thinking about keeping that going for y'all too. Let me know in the comments section if you have any feedbacks or if there's anything that you would like adjusted, any mobs you want out there a little bit weaker, a little bit stronger. I mean, if you notice, hey man, there's too many Zaduls, or I really like the Camaldon, but there's not enough to keep me going, let me know certain things like that. I'm always here to listen to you all's feedback because I think the land works better for everybody when we all work together. So that's kind of how we'll all also profit is working together in the end.